Hello, Namaskara, what's up, people? Hello, Namaskara, what's up, people? So, this video is just a guide for those who are looking to get into medicine this year. So, if you are not a medic or if you're not looking to get into medicine, this video is not for you. It's just going to be a long, boring video for you. So, click away right now. Okay, tada, bye bye. So, for those who are staying and watching this video, I'm going to tell you the list of reasons why medicine is for you or is not for you. So, keep watching and I'll help you figure out if this is your field, if this is your calling. Pros and cons of studying medicine in India. So this was a video that was long overdue. One of my subscribers had asked me to make, and I just wanted to make it in my point of view. I'm no expert, so this is not an expert opinion. This is just my personal experience and opinion. So I have made a list here of all the pros and cons, and I want to tell it one by one. Okay, so starting with, before I start off with it, I guess you would have seen in the news about all the NEET, UG, and PG scams that are going on right now. It's the biggest con of studying medicine in India is the way the system is not supporting you. Okay, so I would want to make that clear that the biggest hurdle or obstacle in clearing this path to become a doctor in India is dealing with the system. Everything else, I feel like any person can overcome it, but the system just makes it 10 times harder. So that's the first con. Okay, the next con is that UG undergraduation takes 5.5 years, then specialization takes 3, and super specialization, which nowadays has become very necessary. Otherwise, the general public doesn't like to go to a general doctor. Everybody wants a specialist, everybody wants a super specialist. So, considering all of that, considering the demand of today's society, I wouldn't say demand, I would say it's their right. Who wouldn't want a well educated person to treat their health right? So, I don't blame them. It's not a demand, it's their right. So, yeah, considering all of that, it takes 5.5, rounded off to 6, plus 3, plus 3. That is 12 years to establish yourself. That is a long, long, long time. So, you have to have the patience, okay, and you have to have the dedication to commit 12 years of your life to this journey. So first thing I would say is the time that it takes to get to the end of your academic years. Okay, now here at this point I would like to give a disclaimer that you do not have to do specialization, super specialization. There are a lot of career opportunities even just after undergraduation. India is such a place where there are some parts where they don't even get basic healthcare. So India can benefit with a lot of just MBBS doctors as well. But I'm just talking about the modern society if you're living in metropolitan cities. The second point is that not just the number of years, okay, the number of hours in a day. Every other field, the working hours is 9 to 5 or maximum 9 to 9, 12 hours. That's the maximum I've seen in non-medical professions. But when it comes to medicine, especially for doctors, even nurses have lesser shifts. But when it comes to doctors, it is 12 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 36 hours, and 48-hour shifts, and sometimes even 56-hour shifts. Whoever came up with this, I would like to have a talk with them. I would like them to sit down with me and I would like to chat with them for a bit. Why did they logically think that this was a good idea? When somebody is treating you, somebody's treating your health problems, you wouldn't want that person to be burnt out and make a mistake. You are human. You have seen that when you are sleepless, you don't function properly. So what makes you think that a human doctor cannot make mistakes when they are so burnt out, they're so sleep deprived? So that is one thing I don't understand, why it has to be that way, why it has to be such long working hours, why can't the shifts be broken down? So yeah, the number of years, the number of hours per day, and not just that, you do not get to take any day off, especially in the first few years of your training, from internship to residency. No Sundays off, no weekends off, no festivals off, nothing. There's no off. You just 365 days a year you have to work. And even if you are sick and you want to apply a sick leave, the amount of procedures that the institution makes you go through just to apply for a sick leave is sickening. I do not understand why the health of the doctors is not taken care of. So yeah. So third point is the money. So a lot of people assume that being a doctor means it's easy money, it's quick money, it's a lot of money. It's not easy, it's not quick, and it's none of that. That's all I can say. I was also highly mistaken. I thought it's going to be a very financially freeing field, but it is. I don't disagree. It is very financially secure field, but it takes a long time to get there. Just to get done with your education and just to establish yourself, it takes somewhere between 10 to 20 years. So by then, your non-medical friends have already started earning, living, saving, investing. So these are all the things you need to be aware of. So when I wanted to choose a medicine, a lot of my family members also told me that it's going to take time. Your peers are going to be enjoying life while you're still studying. Are you okay with that? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I love medicine. And I still love medicine, but I realized I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with seeing my friends buy cars for their parents. I'm not okay with my friends going on vacations with their own money. I'm not okay with my friends buying new clothes with their own money. Like, it just it just makes me feel like I'm left out and I'm behind. And I'm sure all my medical friends can relate with that, but it is the fact of the matter. And I was warned about it, but I did not take it seriously. So if you are someone who is looking to go into medicine, keep this point in mind, that it will get to you at one point. It will make you emotional at one point, that you are not able to do what your other friends are doing at the moment. Okay, next point, fourth point, is the debt. If you do not get into a government institute, if you are studying from a private college, be ready for a lot of debt. Unless you are already financially well off, there's going to be a lot of loans and paying them back, or yeah, stuff like that. So I would suggest that if you do want to get into medicine, try your best to get into a government institute. I feel like private, the amount of money, especially in this day and age, the amount of money that takes to get into private institutions, I personally feel it's not worth it. So that's the next aspect. The next point is the violence. In India now, the violence against doctors is becoming rampant, and no measures are being taken by the law or the government, or at least no strict measures are being taken against it. So that puts your life at a risk, especially if you're working in the emergency medicine department or surgery or medicine, where you have to have a lot of patient interaction. If some impatient patient, well, the irony, if some impatient patient comes to you, you have to have a full defense set. Okay, you have to have an armor, you have to have a sword, you have to have a gun, you have to have a lot of self-defense for yourself. So yeah, violence against doctors is one con that I would like to add to the list, which is a serious issue nowadays. Lastly, the last con I would say is your physical and mental health is going to take a hit. You will be expected to work throughout the day, throughout the year, even if you are crumbling down, even if you are mentally not okay, if you're struggling with something, they do not care. You have to be there at work because somebody else's life is at stake. Okay, so your emotions don't matter, your health doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. I'm saying to the institution, it doesn't matter. So yeah, your physical and mental health will be made to seem like a joke. Okay, so that is something. So with all of these cons, I would like to now list out the pros, the advantages. Okay, so first pro is the stability. This is probably the only field which will not go out of business no matter what happens, even if the world is crushing down, even if there's an apocalypse, even because no matter what happens, people are going to be sick, people do need healthcare. So, and not just stability in terms of people being sick, but in terms of where you would want to work. See, now an IT employee has to come to IT places, I mean, all the metropolitan cities to work, but being a doctor, you can even work in a remote place, you can work in a metropolitan place, you can work abroad, you can work in India. Once you get into the medical field, the whole world is yours. You can go anywhere and practice. Okay, so that stability in terms of where you practice and when you practice, you can practice all your life, you can practice even after retirement. Actually, your value only increases as you get older. So yeah, that is stability at any point of time is an advantage. Second is the feeling of making a difference in somebody's life, right? Imagine yourself when you're sick, you feel so terrible, and if somebody can heal you at that point, you are just so grateful for that person. So you get to be that person. That's the biggest plus point, I would say. Making a difference in somebody's life, and that person later comes and thanks you. I am just a junior doctor, okay, and the number of times people have come back after they've recovered just to say thank you, you really made a difference, that feeling is unmatched. Okay, so that is the second point. Third is lifelong learning. Now, I have put this point in the advantages because I like learning, I like reading, I like studying, I like gaining knowledge. And medicine is such a field where you are compelled to gain knowledge every single day, because the field keeps evolving, it changes, and you need to update yourself. You can't run with the old systems, right? So medicine is one such field where you have to be a lifelong learner, and I love that. I like learning, I like updating myself about the latest knowledge. So being a lifelong learner, for now, I would like to put it in the advantages list. I do not know if I'll feel the same way about it after a few years or decades. Next is human interaction. The one of the main reasons I chose medicine was that I used to see my sister work in front of a laptop all day. I did not like that. I could not imagine myself sitting in front of a laptop just typing, coding, and whatever. I was like, I need something that has human interaction where I can talk to humans daily, and medicine was that field for me. Okay, so think about it. If you are an introvert, you do not like human interaction, you just want to be, you know, working in front of a laptop all day, then this might not be for you. But if you like interacting with patients, with humans, with different kinds of people, then this is a really good field. And lastly, problem solving. medicine is a cool field because every day, every single hour, or every half an hour, you get a puzzle in front of you and you have to solve it. It's literally like a puzzle. A patient comes to you with this, and this, and you have to examine them and get clues of this, and this. So with the history and with the examination that you did, you have a set of clues in front of you. You have to join the pieces and come to a diagnosis and treatment. It's kind of cool if you think about it. If you have watched House MD, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, real life is not like the show House MD, but it is pretty cool. I like the problem solving nature of medicine. It's very like every hour you're like, what could this be? What could that be? So I don't know. It's fun. I might get a lot of hate comments for saying medicine is fun, but yeah, it is. So yeah, I would say shadow a doctor, get in touch with a doctor, be with them for a few days or up to a week, and see how you like it. Stay the night. See if you like the adrenaline rush. See if you can, if you are somebody who likes to sacrifice and jeopardize their sleep. See if you are someone who can interact with so many humans per day. See if you are someone who can leave their work stress behind at work and come back to your family and be normal again. Okay, so these are all the things you should consider. Yeah, so my best tip would be put all these pros and cons that I just told you in front of you and get in touch with a doctor to see personal in hand experience and make the choice for yourself. So yeah, I would definitely say the cons are much, much more than the pros, actually. Very sorry to say that, but if it's your calling, you will make it through. You will get through it the way I am trying to get through it. So yeah, all the best to you.